Following their high-profile appearance at the birthday banquet, Lin Yusen led Ni Zigwang to the first floor to escape the crowded hall. Overlooking the river from a quiet balcony, Zigwang noted how everyone had been staring at them, but Lin Yusen remained remarkably calm, viewing the gazers as merely envious. Touched by Zigwang's public support, Lin Yusen leaned in for a deep kiss. Though they had never been so conspicuous before, the moment felt liberating. As they enjoyed the air, Lin Yusen confessed that his heart was no longer in the business world once Shuangyuan was stable and out of its current predicament. He intended to return to the medical field. Zigwang admitted she had suspected this ever since he explained the medical significance of a ball of soybeans during their previous trip. On the way back to the hotel, Jiang Ping called his wife to update her, mentioning that Ni Zigwang wouldn't be returning to WXI with him the next morning because she already had a driver. Hearing that the two were out together for some fresh air, Jiang Ping teased that he felt like a concerned parent, but he eventually put Zigwang on speakerphone. He gave her a strict midnight curfew, which Zigwang playfully accepted, noting she had already cleared it with her mother. Feeling restless after the stifling banquet, Zigwang met Lin Yusen to walk along Riverside Avenue by the Huangpu River. Though she hadn't eaten much at the party, she had no appetite after filling up on water during the endless rounds of toasting. Lin Yusen, who appeared completely sober, revealed that he had never actually found his limit for alcohol. He had simply pretended to be a poor drinker in the past to avoid social trouble. He promised to handle all future social drinking for her, though he teased that there was one specific banquet, their own wedding, where he wouldn't be able to take her place. As the night air grew biting, Lin Yusen invited her to his nearby apartment to see his old photos and share some snacks he had brought back from Guangzhou. At the apartment, Zigwang followed Lin Yusen into the study, which was packed with medical textbooks he had shipped back from abroad. Zigwang laughed at his university photos, teasing him about his old-fashioned, ball-cut hairstyle. Lin Yusen explained that his childhood albums were still at his grandparents' house and promised to take her there one day. While looking through his things, a packed university schedule fell out, prompting Lin Yusen to open up about his past. He explained that after his father passed away, the Sheng family pressured him toward business, so he deliberately chose medicine out of spite. It was only by chance, while in WXI for a medical exchange, that his grandfather had him picked up to attend the banquet where he first met Zigwang. Following his car accident, he had joined Shengyuan out of bitterness, quickly proving his capability by fixing a major blunder made by Sheng Xingji. However, his recent experiences at Tiachi Lake and seeing the vast desert in the northwest had cleansed his mind. He realized that even if his hands could no longer perform surgery, his medical knowledge remained his most valuable asset. He told Zigwang he wanted to join a brain-computer interface research team in Shanghai led by a professor from Johns Hopkins University. Moved by his strength, Zigwang gave him her full support. Meanwhile, Sheng Xingji's behavior at the banquet had infuriated Sheng Xianmin. The old man severely criticized Sheng Bokai and his wife, ordering Xingji to remain at home and reflect on his actions. The next day, as Lin Yusen was preparing to take Zigwang shopping at Tianzifang and Wukong Road, he received an urgent call from Mr. Li stating that the chairman wanted to see him. Zigwang went on ahead alone while Lin Yusen headed to the Sheng residence. During their meeting, Lin Yusen briefed Sheng Xianmin on his recent trip to Guangdong, detailing a turnkey collaboration model with equipment suppliers that would reduce costs and share profits without straining Shuangyuan's cash flow. Impressed, Sheng Xianmin announced he would transfer all of his shares in Shuangyuan to Lin Yusen. Even when Lin Yusen reiterated his plan to return to medicine, the chairman didn't object, insisting the shares were a personal gift for him to build a future. He also gave Sheng Xingji one final chance to lead a digital data center project in Suzhou, warning that failure would mean total exile from the family business. When Sheng Bokai learned about the share transfer, he immediately called Ni Chengyue. He vented his frustration, blaming Chengyue for allowing Zigwang to support Lin Yusane and steal the spotlight at the banquet. Chengyue, who had been unaware his daughter even attended the party, was stunned. Bokai urged Chengyue to use his position as a shareholder to block the transfer and requested his help in organizing a shadow team to rig the bidding process for Xingji's Suzhou project. Ni Chengyue, feeling unwell and exhausted, grew annoyed. When his wife, Qian Fangping, tried to comfort him, he snapped at her, frustrated by her lack of professional help and her relatives' past blunders. Qian Fangping quickly apologized for the trouble caused by Ma Nianyue, promising to keep her family away from business matters.